Today, we have a two-time history-making Olympian. She is a writer, an actor, an artist, and a vegan since birth. Miss Seba Johnson. Seba. Hello, Seba.
How are you?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for the invitation.
What?
Thank you for the invitation.
Oh, my pleasure. Now, your dog's name?
This is Langston. Little Langston. He's my little vegan doggy.
Hello, gorgeous.
Such a sweet boy.
Oh my God, it's just beautiful. How old is Langston?
Langston is going to be 9 this year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And I got him as a 3-month-old at an animal shelter.
Oh.
And he was so scared. All the other puppies were vying for our attention and wagging their tail. And Langston was sitting against the wall, the brick wall, just looking out completely like over it all. And I was like, I need to see that one. So they brought him out and he curled up like an armadillo and let me go to another room where I can put him down and see what he actually looks like standing on his own. So I put him down and I walked across the room. I just wanted to see what he looks like. And I looked over, he wasn't there. He was already by my feet. And I was like, yes, he's coming home with me.
Oh my God.
Isn't that a good story?
It's a great story. You know, I'm hearing this and it's like, I so want a dog. I so want a dog. So
You have to.
yeah, once we get out of like quarantine, maybe you'll go doggy shopping with me.
Yes, that would be fun. That would be so fun. And, you know, I mean, they all need homes. So, you know, we'd go to animal shelters and we would, you know, go to different places where they are trying to adopt, because you don't want to get a bred dog, because there's so many animals that are already alive that need adoption and rescue.
Right. And I know I saw in when I was reading about you, you're very much about animal welfare.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because my sister and I were raised vegan since birth, and from a very young age, our mom told us exactly where like burgers come from and where hot dogs come from, and it was never appetizing to eat a living being with like beautiful long eyelashes who just wanted to live, nothing more than to live and be happy and to be with their loved ones. So we stayed vegan, and that animal activism followed me all the way through the Olympics and throughout my life, like every aspect of my life. So, and you know, it's nice to go to visit animals at animal shelters, but also to animal sanctuaries where you can meet cows and chickens and pigs and see, you know, how they interact with each other and see that they all have their own individuality, their own personality. And it's quite fascinating, in their own sense, everything.
Wow. So how many animals do you have?
Well, I have Langston, and then I have Braddock, who looks like he's about 20,000 years old, but he's actually young. So this is Braddock.
Oh, look how gorgeous you are.
No one ever says that about him. Aw,
no. They're both gorgeous, and actually all three of you are gorgeous in your own wonderful way.
Our own way. But yeah, so I call him a cockroach sometimes because he always does this with his legs.
Oh, like this? I love that.
He's always like frozen like that. Yeah.
I love it. Well, you were talking about being vegan. Now, for those who don't know, what's the difference between vegan and vegetarian?
Okay, so vegan is, and I wish there wasn't a difference between the two names, because when you think about it, vegetarian should eat everything that's vegetables, and there's even vegan wine too that we sometimes, whatever that is. I mean, vegan water. That's what
ginger ale.
Ginger ale. Nice.
I just use a glass to make me feel.
That's awesome. No, but so basically, you know, if you're vegetarian, it would be assumed that all you eat are things that are vegetable based, like from plants. But I guess sometimes they have eggs or milk, whatnot. So vegan takes it a step further. So there's absolutely nothing that comes from an animal. So no cow's milk or goat milk, because mothers make milk for their calves or their kids, their babies.
Right.
So no eggs, because basically those are unfertilized chickens. So nothing from an animal at all. Not even honey, because honey enslaves bees and forces them out of their homes in order to capture the honey. And it's just, so no, we take absolutely nothing that comes from a once living being. And even as far as like leather, no fur, no wool. And even our like household products are not tested on animals as well. So it goes into every aspect of your life. Because when you think about it, you're just helping to lessen the amount of suffering that exists in the world.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, it's interesting that you're talking about this, because some people who are, quote, meat eaters, or they aren't vegan or vegetarian, would think, well, can I be healthy eating just that? But, I'm looking at you and you're like glowing. So.
And a little too healthy.
Well, and talk about healthy. You, like you said, you've always been vegan, but also, no buts, and you were the youngest alpine ski racer in the 1988 Olympics.
Yeah. Yep. In 1988, at the age of 14. And even to this day, there hasn't been anybody younger than that. So I still have that, I guess it's called record.
Right.
And also the first Black female in the Olympics in the 1988 games.
Yes.
And competed again in the 92 games. And between those two games, I was in 2 world championships and a lot of World Cup downhill races. And actually, there's a painting that a fellow on the internet found my picture, and he's a comic artist.
Right.
And he just happened to post this on Instagram and post it and tagged me in it. And I saw it, and he sent me a copy of his artwork. But that's in one of the World Cup downhills that I did. It's a picture.
Oh my God. Now, when did you start skiing? How old were you?
Well, I was 7. Well, I first saw skiing when I was 5 and started skiing when I was 7. I took my first ski lesson and in New Hampshire. Yeah.
So you on TV, you saw it and you said, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, I was actually in the Virgin Islands, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and we were watching one of the Olympic Games on our black and white television. This is before color TVs were out.
Oh my God.
And
wait a minute. You look like you're 18.
These hot flashes don't make me feel like I'm 18.
Oh my gosh.
That's why I had to put Langston down. He was conducting so much heat. Yeah. So I saw skiing, and then when I was 5 years old, we went to Switzerland, St. Moritz, Switzerland. My sister was in Mexico visiting her father in Mexico, and my mother had me, so we went on a plane to Switzerland because my mom sold some paintings and was able to make some money so we can fly there. And I saw the skiers coming down the mountain and just how graceful their movements were, and it was a beautiful sunny day with little puffs of clouds and the blue sky. And I tell this story in every interview, but I just remember it so well, holding my mom's hand and looking up at her and saying, Mom, I want to be a skier. And she thought absolutely nothing of it. I don't even think she acknowledged what I said. And 9 years later, I was at the start gate of the Olympics at the age of 14, making history.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh my God. I'm like, I'm sort of speechless because I'm very honored to speak to you right now.
That's so kind of you. Honored to speak to you. The work that you do. Oh my God, and the talent that you get to work with every day. You're so blessed.
Well, like your sister.
Exactly.
I mean, it's truly a family at Performing Arts Studio West and the Meet the Biz program, and I mean, some people might not know who your sister is, huh?
Well, let's keep it a secret until.
Okay, we'll keep it a secret a little longer.
Yes.
Now, one thing. Oh, another thing. You became the flag bearer at the Olympics, and how did that happen?
Well, I was born in the U.S. Virgin Islands, so I carried the flag for the country where I was born in the opening ceremonies, and I think they had me do it at the opening ceremonies of the 88 Games because I was the only one that was actually had like roots in the Virgin Islands, whereas a lot of the other competitors had bought boats and docked them in the Virgin Islands, able to get on the Winter Olympic Federation team that year. And then I carried the flag at the closing ceremonies of the 92 Olympics, my second Olympic Games, and qualified for my third Olympic Games, but I boycotted those because the host country of that year's Olympics had just lifted the moratorium on minke whale hunting. And as an activist, I took a stance and I said, no, I'm not going to participate in a country that is doing a type of slaughtering of animals that's so unnecessary. You know, we don't need to have anything from a whale, you know, these days. We have electricity for light lamps and stuff like that, so we don't have to use like blubber or anything like that. So yeah,
right.
That ended my career.
Well, you know what is so powerful to me is you stand up for so many things in your life that you believe in, like racism, homophobia, and animal welfare. And it seems like you've been doing it from day one.
Yeah. I mean, we're only here for this long, if you think about it. We're in the scope of like the universe, in the scope of, you know, the history of just planets forming and everything. So our time here is so incredibly short. So why not do as much as we can and try to help as many individuals as possible with the small time that we have, you know, because a lot of times we get so concerned about like, you know, our day-to-day things, but I think if we live from our heart and if we just stay focused on the really important things in life, which is just try to be as kind as, you know, as compassionate to each other as possible, then life will start becoming more beautiful for everyone. Because if everybody has that mindset, you know, they'll take away, you know, the layers of ugliness that humanity has as far as racism and homophobia and stuff like that. Because when you think about it, everyone should be able to live their life exactly how they want, as long as they're not harming someone else. So.
I'm sorry, it's very touching because just what we're going through now, you have such a healing force about you.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
And it's healing in the sense of bringing people together. And you're so, you seem so centered, you seem so, you know, a bearer of love.
Wow.
And so thank you for that.
You've made me tear up. I thank you. I mean, I've had to do a lot of work. You know, I wanted to die many times in my life because of the racist letters and death threats I was getting as a ski racer. I wanted to leave for other reasons as well, but I stayed, and you know, and I'm so passionate about helping people live through like either traumatic experiences, which I had quite a few when I was younger, or just live through any kind of insecurities that we have, you know, because one thing that I found that has helped a lot, and I'm sorry if I'm rambling, but is that every morning before I turn on the news, before I get on the internet, or, you know, Instagram to see if, you know, the person I like might have liked one of my pictures or whatever, and they didn't when I do check, but it's okay.
Or they, depending on the day.
But anyways, my point is, you know, before I do all that, I go to my yoga mat where I normally film my interviews, but it's really dark on that side of the apartment. And I just sit there and I ground myself, and I close my eyes and I do a deep breathing through the nose only, in and out the nostrils. And it's very much like Vipassana meditation, if you've heard of it. It's like, and anybody can take it. It's free all around the world. You just have to go to the website and see. Well, can't do it now because of social distancing, but Vipassana meditation, I think, changed my life. And it's just so powerful. So basically my point is just to meditate, to make space for yourself so that you'll be, you know, able to navigate this world a little bit easier.
Yeah. It's a good thought. I have to switch something because I usually get up and say, okay, I'm only watching 10 minutes of news for the day, but I do it right at the beginning, and I shouldn't. There's no shouldn'ts, but I think the healthier way would be to turn on that meditation music, to take care of myself. My nutritionist, who I see once once a year, if not more, Sally Kravitz, she says, always feed yourself with something alive and wonderful, like an apple or something healthy.
Yes, for sure.
So,
And everybody did that for a month, maybe, just at least 28 days, and see how different you process each, living food, like plant-based food that you put into your body. And you can even jot down the differences that you notice in your sleep, or the energy that you have in the morning, or how you recover from exercise. And you'll see a big difference. I promise you.
I love it. I love it. And now from skiing, you also decided to be an actress.
Yeah, I was doing some commercials for my ski companies in Europe, and I got kind of comfortable being in front of the camera. So I took some acting classes, and then eventually in New England, and eventually I auditioned for a part that got me my SAG membership, and it was opposite. I am old.
No, you're not. No, it's all the stuff we're going through. It goes, yeah, I'm gonna mess with your head.
Right, exactly. It's Lorenz Tate, and everybody should know who Lorenz Tate is. And evidently, I didn't quite remember at that moment. But yeah, so
there.
It was somewhere, but yeah, somewhere over here.
Well, that happens to me a lot, where it's there and it's like, I'm gonna hide from you, and it goes back there behind this cell, and then it says, here I am. No, I'm not.
Exactly. You see it, but then like as soon as you go to grasp it, it's gone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you wrote a book?
Well, I'm in the process of writing the book. It's a memoir, and it's the hardest thing to do in life. Basically, it takes a lot of work, because you're reliving certain things you may never have wanted to live the first time.
Yeah.
I get through the writing, but it's also very cathartic. And I think it's going to help a lot of people. I really, really, really do.
Well, it sounds like it, from all the amazing stuff you've been through, the ups and downs, the challenges, and your beautiful family, who you just introduced to. And we have another wonderful woman that is actually your sister.
Yes. Would you like to meet her?
I would love to meet her.
I have a feeling that everybody watching knows who she is.
Here we go.
We'll see. She's going to be right in this chair.
Oh, I love it. I love it. This is great. So, sort of a surprise guest for the audience.
Yeah. So I love that she's building up the.
I love it. The tension is like.
And here she comes.
Uh-oh.
Okay. I know, but it's Suli Johnson. Oh my God. Ta-da.
Hi, David. Hi.
You're so dramatic. She showed her back first, and then it was.
I love it. It was like, wait, who is it? Who is it? I love it. Look at, that is a gorgeous picture of the two of you. Two beautiful sisters together, and
Right now.
And then we have our brother right next to us.
hey,
Oh, that's awesome.
I love you took a photo. So, Zuli, you're an actress.
Yes, I am.
Now, who decided to want to act first between the two of you?
He said, who decided to want to act first?
I get. It had to be me.
Oh, yeah?
It ain't right.
Okay.
Or you could even be our mother,
Yeah.
our backstage mother. Oops.
Who, me?
No, your mother.
I feel like a mother sometimes. A Jewish mother. Eat your chicken soup.
Or vegan chicken soup.
Oh, you're right. Sorry. Eat your vegan chicken soup. I've got to change. Maybe,
So then,
Oh, I love it. I have to read something that you said that, because I just caught my eye of what I read. You say you have vision, and this is, I believe, a quote from you. sparking conversations on how to help lessen the amount of suffering that exists in the world and encouraging a vegan way of life with a vision that comes from the heart and must be personally experienced. So that was on your website. And it's the way you live. That's your vision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I mean, because like I said, life is so incredibly short. So why not, you know, like when we leave this earth, I hope there will be no one who said, well, I still didn't, you know, I didn't get my, you know, payback to her or whatever. Like, you know, you want to make sure that you golly, I don't even, I mean, just the words that I wrote is like, I guess exactly what I mean, I guess it could be interpreted however one takes it, but.
And what you share for this earth that lasts longer, that you can reach out to people.
Right.
Is that what, you know, what lasts longer? Your feelings or what you can take from this earth, or what you can hoard for yourself, or materialistic things that you can't even take when you die, or everlasting change that you can make. Good point, Zuli.
Yeah.
Now, this is the question that's beautiful. This is a question for both of you about each other. What is a word, when you look at your sister, what is a word that pops into your head?
Who are you asking, Zuli or me?
I'm asking both of you. So whoever wants to go first.
Okay, the question was again?
What is a word that describes your sister to you? How do you feel? A word that makes you, when you look at your sister, you'd want us to go, this is my sister.
I have mine, if you want to go first.
Okay. A beautiful heart.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Zuli.
You're welcome.
Love. I mean, Zuli is the epitome of love. Like when we were little, she agrees. She's like, yep, I am. When we were little, you know, when we were walking down the street, I remember this one time we were in Bermuda with my mom, and my mom wasn't the nurturing kind. She was never the kind to like hug us and kiss us or whatever.
Mm.
So my sister and I were holding hands walking down the street, and these drunk men were outside of a pub, and they were like, you know, staring and like kind of pointing at us, because my mom's blonde hair, blue eyed, and then, you know, you see what we look like. So it was just, I guess, looked like a motley crew. And so they were pointing. And then, you know, after we went by them, Zuli said, yeah, they're pointing because I'm beautiful. And I loved it. I loved that you know, that was her interpretation of that whole event. And it very well could have been that. Yeah. You know, very well could have been some other things too. But that was like the foundation of the rest of our life, you know, that kind of like way of thinking, positive way of thinking.
You said that your mom wasn't a hugger, or she didn't show a lot of love. So if that happened, because I've heard this in how do you think you got to this place of, you know what I'm talking about, that core, that love?
I completely know. I think it's because I know how it feels to hurt. I think I know how it feels to feel, you know, maybe you're not, you know, making another person or that person proud of you, or, you know, I know how it feels. And I'm sure she's going to watch it, so I can't really go into too much detail, but I want people to feel okay during their life. You know, I want them to feel okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm that way, and that's one of the reasons I love hanging out with your sister Zuli, because
I love hanging out with you too.
Well, I mean, and hearing you, you know, calling you up on the phone when we get to chat and to watch you act. One of my joys right now is to, you know, I used to always want to act and be on the stage, and I still love that kind of energy. Still want to do it, but my biggest joy right now is to see someone grow and change, and while they're doing it, you could see the joy within them. So seeing others get joy brings me joy. So it's that kind of thing that's going on. Another question for both of you. What do you want the most at this moment in your life?
Oh, that's your famous question. What I want most in my life right now?
Yeah.
Being self-confident for others, and that I can show others what they can, they want to try something different in life, like being themselves and their personalities.
Yeah.
And what's going on? What's going on in the world right now is being so grounded and being happy and play, and
Yeah. Yeah.
that's how I want now.
Yeah. And we so need that. Grounded and well, I mean, you're so lucky. I mean, the magic that the two of you have. I have a brother too who I love dearly, and we have such a good connection, and I could see that kind of energy between the two of you. Even you're both going sort of like this. It's like I could see that you're sisters, and then the smile that goes. I love it. So that's another thing that brings me joy. How about you, Seba?
Can you repeat the question just so I have it like verbatim?
Yes. What do you want the most at this moment in your life?
What I want the most at this moment in my life is for each individual to just stop for a moment, go within, and find out what it is about themselves that makes them act out in a way to someone else that causes pain in a person outside of themselves. I think it's a lot of pain that they have within. They want to see another person suffer, and that's why they're racist, and that's why they're attempting to lynch people these days, and a lot of the things that are going on. But I just wish that everybody would just stop for a moment, go within, and try to fix that child, or fix whatever it is that's inside of them, or nurture that part of them, so that they won't spew hatred, so they don't continue to destroy the earth with the chemicals that they're releasing into the oceans, or so they stop, hurting animals and hurting one another, and try to nurture this planet that we call home, but we're not treating her the way we should. So.
I love it. I love it. Last question. If we, of course, all of Performing Arts Studio West is watching, all the students and the Meet the Biz and the world out there on the internet. Hello. What advice would you give them? Because I know that there are a few people, including myself, who are, you wake up in the morning and you go, oh my God, the dreams were so much better. Or, because right now we go to sleep and it's like, we wake up to reality, which is like, how would you tell a student who is fearful or angry or confused about what's going on? How would you say for them that it's going to be okay, or in this moment, how would you guide them?
I would, because I've had people who've reached out who wanted to, leave just like a few weeks ago. And I spoke with her for quite some hours on the phone that night. And the next day, she was a brand new person, so I feel that, if you are having feelings of fear, acknowledge those feelings, maybe write, journal, because this would be a great time to take down information, what you're witnessing, how it made you feel, because decades down the road, people are going to read that and be like, wow, that's how life was back then. Look how loving we are today. They were that mean to each other back then. How sad. You never know, you know? So like definitely journal everything, but then also ask yourself, did I just take another breath? And if you did, then obviously your mission is not finished on this earth, because you know there's still something that you are going to do. That there's still something, the reason why you're here, why you exist today. And for a lot of the people that I've met at your studio, is that they've you don't know how much you're touching people in the audience. I've left you guys' shows many times with tears in my eyes, because I'm like, thank God I lived, I got to witness this, You guys are like so inspiring and just like so much so much talent. I'm so excited about it that I wanted to, like use an adjective I shouldn't use, but like, so, just ask yourself, did I just take another breath? And if you did, your time is not finished. So keep on persevering. I know this is a very rough time for all of us. There was a time when I didn't feel comfortable leaving my house, because, as a Black person, but just be very, just acknowledge it, push through it, and see how beautiful life will be on the other side of it.
That being said, I want to continue with what you said about the breath, because that really hit me too, because breath is one of my favorite words. Breath or breathe. I'm going to give you a shirt too. I'm going to get your address or something. I'll send it to both of you. So I'll get your sizes, but it says breathe but the E is separate than the breath. And it's this film that I've been working on called My Next Breath. And it's all about, what do you want the most at this moment in your life? And how do you go about it? And it's about a group of actors who are a little different. One happens to be 3 foot tall, one's blind, one's deaf, one has cerebral palsy, and one's me. And it's about their families, their mothers, their brothers, their lovers. The question we asked was that question about, what do you want? And then we come back 10 years later and find out, did they get it or not?
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh my God, what a powerful film.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome.
So that's where I am. And again, thank you for the sisters, just you guys being there and oh, I love that. I just love that.
It's awesome. Can I tell you a cute story about when we were little?
Yeah.
When we were living in the Virgin Islands, whenever I would wake up with a nightmare, because our housing project that we lived at, it was built over a cemetery. They didn't move the bodies were still there, but it was built over a cemetery. Anyway, so I had nightmares when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I got scared. I'd go to Zuli's little twin-sized bed in the same room and hold on to Lefty. So Lefty would always give me comfort. So that's a cute story.
Yeah, that's a wonderful cute story.
Oh, I love that. I love that. God, it's those stories of growing up with your siblings and your family, and it means so much. Did anything else from either of you that you want to say or talk about?
Well, if I say I love my sister to death, and I feel so happy to have her in my life, and I appreciate it being here.
Thank you, Zuli. And I will give you that money that I promised you for saying that. I'm just joking. But thank you, Zuli. Me too. Like, I'm very grateful. She's solid. Zuli is like a solid anchor on this planet. Like she's like.
Well, I just want to make people happy.
Well, you seriously do, because when I see you, you make me happy and you keep me going. When we're in the studio, and when we will get back to the studio, when that time comes, that energy that you give out to everyone, Zuli, is so loving and so wonderful. So you're both healers. It's just your energy, and it's about the love that you all show. So We got to keep on doing that love thing. All of us, huh?
Yes.
And love yourselves as well. I want everybody to really, really take time to just appreciate every
Yes.
cell that is in your body. You know, it took me a long time to get to that point. So that's something I really want people to do and just completely appreciate every single cell in your body.
Thank you.
Oh, I want to give you a hug, David.
Oh, I want to give you a hug too. Both of you. Here we go.
Move on. Move on.
Group hug.
Let it slide. Let your troubles